something small.
Right.
That'll be, yeah,
I didn't bring my little thing.
kids with
either.
like FAM and whatever else.
Okay.
Not 7 yet. Oh, well, I don't know that. I don't have my ring foot now. Where'd he got foot rings? Nothing. So we don't have. You can just shut yours off. Gosh. Hang on, everybody, I gotta, Rain Holt, whatever, just got on there and she liked everything for Friends of Main Street. It was just like 50 things. Oh my God. Yeah, it's not splitting the screen.
YouTube's not up yet.
Turn the volume down. YouTube should come through,
It takes a minute.
it'll come through Sheila's system. Can't breathe. Okay, we'll get started. We just have some technological problems tonight. But anyway, welcome to the Board of Selectmen, May 3rd, 2021, regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen. May we start with the call to order, please?
Candace Bouchard.
Todd Archelashi.
Melissa Bird.
Josh Kelly.
Candy Perez?
Sheila Sedlak.
Jack Bork. Stephen Sedlak.
Linda Grappo.
Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, item 3 is agenda review. Anyone? Seeing none, approval of the meetings of the special meeting on April 15th. We have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Candace. Thank you, Melissa, for the second. Any updates for Sheila on that? Hearing none, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Next are the minutes of our regular meeting on April 19th, 2021. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Melissa. Is there a second? Thank you, Linda. Any updates for Sheila?
I have one.
Linda?
On page 2, item 7, the last line. I think it's just a typo.
Extra 0 there.
Extra 0.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else? If not, all in favor? Thank you. Todd, are we live streaming?
Yes.
Okay. So, right now is, item 5 is citizens' comments. If you have any comments you'd like to say, please give us a call, 860-738-6958. Again, 738-6958.
Candy, did you miss the April 26th?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, I did.
You did?
I guess I did. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Hi, this is the Board of Selectmen meeting. Who's calling?
Hello, it's John Moore.
Hi, John.
Hello, thank you for having me again.
Yep.
If it is all right, I think I have found a new solution to some viewing this, wanting to say something pertaining to town issues but are too shy. Since the meeting is broadcasted on YouTube as a live stream, some people may be able to say things in the chat. I feel I must tell you these things because I do not know how you feel this new way should be regulated. If people saying things in the chat should be giving their info as they would calling. Whoever is running the YouTube channel, running the live stream will see what is in the chat. If it is all right, for example, I will write the word test in the chat, and whoever is running it should see it,
We don't,
if that's all right.
we are not running chats or anything for comments through YouTube or Zoom at the moment. That's why,
All right.
that's why we have the phone call, that's why we have in-person meetings at the moment.
Oh, okay, thank you. I did not know because, I don't know.
Anything else?
No, thank you. I just wanted to bring that to attention. I didn't know that. Thank you.
Oh,
for
no
having me.
problem.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
So I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting of April 26th.
I'll second.
Thank you, Melissa. Sorry for missing that, everyone. Any updates for Sheila? All in favor? Thank you. Unanimous. Next up is, if anybody wants to call in 860-738-6958, we also have a public comment towards the end of this. John, did you want to? Okay, not right now. So brings us to item 6, which is the town manager's report.
Sure, and the past 2 weeks have been very busy, as you can all have seen certainly, and probably could have guessed. I'll just talk about some highlights, and then any questions that you have I can answer from there. A lot of the last 2 weeks has been a lot of meeting and greeting different people around town. Today, for example, we had our first leadership team meeting where Bob was not present. It lasted about an hour and a half. We talked about expectations, and I think it was a very good and productive meeting. Beyond that, I've been having one-on-ones first with all the department directors. The next step is going to be to have meetings with individuals who fall on that assistant level in each department, and then we'll go down and continue to make sure that I meet with every single member of the town staff. And I was also able to hold 2 different meet and greets over the past 2 weeks with the public. One of them was very well attended, the other one modestly attended, but still a very productive conversation with the public. And if anybody is interested in reaching out to me, of course, as you've all heard, and this is another item that I wanted to mention to you all, we do have a plan now for reopening Town Hall, as you probably read online and in the various communications I've sent to you. But for the public's knowledge, in case you haven't heard, as of today, we have opened Town Hall on an appointment-only basis. That means that if you reach out to an individual here in Town Hall and you have a very legitimate reason for needing to access the interior of the building in Town Hall, you will be able to do so. You'll be permitted to do so. And for the next 2.5 weeks, so until May 19th, that will be the protocol. And on May 19th, we will be unlocking the Town Hall doors, and business will resume as usual, with a big asterisk that masks will still be required and general social distancing will be enforced. We have a plan where if we have too many people in any one office at one time, we will set up the blue room as a waiting room to make sure that social distancing can be adhered to while we're still ensuring that people have access to Town Hall. So reopening, I believe that today was a success. I know we only had a few different individuals coming on in, but it seemed to run very smoothly, and I'll get more feedback from staff tomorrow. Beyond that, I've had a focus on technology and software. As I think you're all aware, there are some needs that the town has that I want to make sure that our different departments have the tools that they need, and software is certainly a part of that. The Economic Development Commission and I have had some conversation. I went to their meeting 2 weeks ago, and I'll be going to their meeting again tomorrow night, and they have some ideas on some activities that they might be able to have go underway in the next few months before the end of the fiscal year, and I'm trying to help them along with some of those in a quick and expedited manner, given the timeline. And beyond that, I'm sure you're all wondering about the water main break on Nanny Drive. The damage is rather severe, at least in the area where the water main break immediately broke. And it was, unfortunately, there will be a significant amount of pavement that needs to be completely redone, and it's in an area where the pavement had recently been redone. All of those costs will be encumbered by Winstead Waterworks, and as a result of it being a water main break, and to my knowledge, that crew is still there right now, trying to make sure that the people who live in that area have water tonight. Are there any questions that you have about the report?
Well, I just want to follow up on the water main break. I know that there were two messages sent out through the Winstead, website announcement system like that. And then I saw civil preparedness put one out there. So people, at home can sign up. Candace, you pointed it out through the Friends of Main Street and whatnot, to be able to sign up for email alerts so that they go out. Because I think the first one went out at 12:30 this afternoon with an update at 1:28.
That's right.
And also, so I don't know when exactly it broke, but some news did go out for it, and so that was good, but people need to maybe somehow, as you start thinking about communication, how to let people know to sign up for these news alerts or go to the Town of Winchester Facebook page to be able to check in on it.
Absolutely.
But the only issue is, those news alerts are through email, so you have to be on email to get them, or on Facebook. So, we probably really need to look at a telephone alert system. I mean, just for situations like that, because that's really the way, just like an Eversource calls you when you have tornadoes coming or whatever. It's really the only way to actively. But I do believe that on Facebook, the questions came and the response was about the same time. It was very fast.
Yes, we knew about the water main break almost in real time, and information was posted about 10 minutes after I learned about it, which was about a minute after the Director of Public Works learned about it. It was a very rapid response, and the team's been working overtime. We have the street department there as well, making sure that everything's in order.
Josh, I'm curious about the two nights that you had on Zoom.
Yes.
You said you had quite a bit of attendance on the first night. What's quite a bit, 20?
We had, I believe, 16 by my final count. Individuals attend that meeting, and the next morning we had 5, not including me in either case.
Okay.
So it was, albeit compared to the population of the town, it might seem modest, but it led for some very robust conversation, and a lot of great ideas were brought forward about things people want to see around town and want to see continue from your legacy and Bob's as well.
Is your intent to continue something like that on a weekly or a twice-a-month basis?
That's actually a great idea. I hadn't thought about it on a rolling basis. I do think that at some point, once we're comfortable being back in person and more vaccines have rolled out, it might behoove this group as well as myself to do something in person as a meet and greet and as a way to try and encourage people to also get back out and embrace business in town.
Yeah, some people can't make it during the day, and having those meet and greets with you in the evening might be very helpful. I heard from a couple people who met with you, and they thought it was very, very helpful.
That's good. I'll keep thinking about that. Thank you.
Okay, anything else? If not, we'll move to number 7 under correspondence. This was a request that came to me, but I was not comfortable doing it, sending a letter in of support from myself. The Winstead Phoenix is looking for a letter of approval or support they're applying for a grant to as you can see in the letter from the board of directors, I guess the chairman, and they're applying for a grant, and they wanted a letter of support from us. I'm a little concerned about it because it's a private entity. While all newspapers are supposed to serve the community good, it also remains a private entity for me. So I open it up to all of you what you'd like to do with it.
Is the deadline for the grant application is April 30? It's passed.
I'm not responsible for their application.
Right.
And when I responded back to the board of director man, I said I would put it on our first meeting in May agenda.
Okay, so is it passed? Is it?
I'm not sure what I haven't heard anything else from them again.
I wonder if they've sent the same letter to all the towns that they service as well, as just Winstead.
I'm not sure.
I know.
Like I said, it's you know, we all would like a lot of, you know, news coverage in town. You know, we have the 3 newspapers. They've been here, there, and different times. If we go back in our history, we had, what, a morning and an evening newspaper. But this was sent, like I said, I wasn't comfortable on my own, so I give it all to you. What you would like to do with it. We don't have to do anything with it. We could wish them luck. We can do a letter of support or not. Like I said, we don't have to take action.
Well, it's interesting that the letter doesn't ask for the Board of Selectmen's support. It just says for you, because it was addressed to you as the mayor, and any member of the Board of Selectmen. So I'm not so sure it's a decision by the full board, but individually, we could make those recommendations or support letters. But I think I'd pass on a Board of Selectmen decision.
I mean, if everybody's okay with that, you could write your own letters of support if you'd like to.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, then, let's move on to number 8, boards and commissions. Steve?
Were we done with correspondence?
I can talk about a couple other items in correspondence that were
Okay.
included in the packet.
I'm sorry.
No problem. Just so for everybody's information, and if you have questions, please ask. But there is in your packet a commitment to fund the lot zip program for the town of Winchester for the coming year. And that letter has been signed and has been delivered to the state now by my office.
Just so you know, that lot zip is a 2-year, the end of the 2-year process.
That's correct. You will also find that there is the memo that I sent out to all town staff regarding reopening, in case you were interested in that language. Next in the packet is a memorandum from Bart Clark over in the Public Works Office regarding the Sue Grossman Trail. I know that some of you have been asking for an update on that. There is work that's being done very actively on it. Unfortunately, things are not necessarily as on schedule as we would like, but that's all very well detailed within the memo, and you can read a little bit more about it.
Josh, before you pass that,
Yes.
I'd like to ask a question. A couple times in the report, Bart was careful to mention, due to defects in the original survey, and then later on at page 3, had performed some design work that probably was ineffective. We paid that firm already?
Yes.
The original? And is there any way to recoup for some of these defects that have come in?
That's something that I'm very sure that Jim and Bart would have been thorough in looking into and pursuing. I will double check with them, and if it's at all possible, or if it hasn't already been done, of course, I will pursue it.
When it says original design, do they mean like the original design or the engineer before the one we currently have? Because there's the original design back from
20 years.
10 years ago or 20 years ago that were in that big
Well, they
green book.
mentioned Cardinal Engineering. And
Okay.
Cardinal Engineering was the one just before our current.
Right, so what happened is with that is Candace and I had talked to Bart and Jim about it, and then we had talked to Bob about it, because that engineering firm we were so far behind in the design, and we didn't know why. So we asked Jim and Bart to take a look at it along with Bob to see what could be done, and that's when we changed engineers.
So again, my question, are we paying Cardinal Engineering their full fee for inaccuracies?
We already paid them a long time ago. They were paid, when we had our meeting, we asked the town manager if their bills had been paid, if there was anything outstanding. There was nothing outstanding at that time.
So there's nothing we can do at this point.
I don't know. I don't know. We were, the main concern was meeting the deadline of the grant. I think we got an extension. I'm not quite sure. I believe we got an extension, but at that point, you know, their feeling was it was nothing, we had given them a couple of opportunities to rectify the situation and timelines, and they didn't meet them, so we said we have to move on. We can't continue this, and that's what we're doing, because we just need to get this done.
One of the things that's also happening too with it is they tried to Bart, you know, because he's an engineer as well. What they wanted to do, and I think they're doing with this new one, is to shift it from some of the wetlands to move the trail when they can. But the trail's not gonna go much farther than where it is. It's not, the money that we got is not going to finish it to the center of town. There's also right-of-way issues in some areas. So the goal is to try to get it completed as much as possible with the current grant. And then we probably, if we do a infrastructure program, you know, later on in the years, maybe we should look at what it takes to finish it, because,
I think it right now, it's like going up to DMV, but we really want to get it to New Street, at least, where there's parking, and I don't know if we'll ever be able to get it beyond there, you know, because of easements, but at least we can get it to New Street.
Well, we've all been asking about this for a couple of, maybe even 4 years. so
4 years, to be exact.
It'd be nice to have it done.
Yep.
Yep.
Another item that I know has been asked about quite a bit is there's some information included in here on lights on Main Street. And we have some progress from Eversource. Candace might want to speak to that a little bit later in her report. And lastly, you'll see in that section of the packet the information about the special town meeting on Tuesday, May 25th, and the referendum on Saturday, May 29th, the notices for which were published.
so just to be clear now, because I had Bruce clear it up, May 25th is a waterworks project that we are the co-signers on. So on the 25th, Bruce thinks it's a joint meeting for us and Waterworks. So Waterworks will be there to explain the details for people. We, through Bruce, will be there for the finance questions. But that's on the 25th,
Right, so
just to clear it up, because things sort of got confused a little bit there, so.
the public meeting primarily for anyone to question about the waterworks bond issue
It's a required one from the bond.
Right.
The bond council
requires.
the public hearing.
Candy, if I can ask, it's also a town meeting.
No, May
Before
10th, May 10th is the town meeting.
No, I'm talking for the bond. 5 days before the referendum for the bond is a town meeting to go to bonding
Okay,
referendum.
so it's a town
right?
meeting required, the attendance of the Board of Selectmen,
Correct,
attendance by Waterworks.
Okay.
How's that?
because the wording is difficult,
Yes, it is.
but it is a town.
Yeah, yes, it
Meeting.
is. I feel, maybe it's me, but I feel like I'm constantly lately in this confusion bubble. So May 10th is our annual town meeting. May 17th is our regular Board of Selectmen meeting. May 25th is the Waterworks bond issues. And then May 29th should be the referendum on the town budget and the Waterworks financing. Right? Did I miss one?
Oh, that's right.
May 30th is what?
Saturday is the referendum.
30th? I thought everybody kept telling me the
It's
29th.
29th.
Bruce kept saying the 29th.
I thought the 29th was the
It's
date.
the 29th, it's a
Okay.
Saturday.
Okay.
The 30th is a Sunday.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm thinking
Are you
29.
in
Memorial
my-
Day is the 31st.
Are you in my confusion bubble?
I'm not touching your
I
computer.
did a calendar.
And Kurt, you don't need to write that.
Busy month.
Anyway, so, all right, so, were you finished with the?
Yes, I'm all set.
All right, thank you. Steve, did you have something else you want to talk about under correspondence?
No, if Candace is gonna talk later about the lights,
I can talk about it now.
Yeah, go right ahead.
So, I don't want to, I almost don't want to say anything, because I just don't want to say anything until it happens. Because it's not going to happen till the end of June or July. So they have agreed to, at their own cost, to replace all the lights, 57 lights, the light part, the luminaire part of the lights, on all the poles in Main Street, the decorative poles on Main Street and East End Park. They've also ordered 2 poles. I don't know if that's at our cost, that should be at our cost, but they may be doing that, to replace the pole in front of Monaco's and the one that's been gone since 2013 at the end of Union. So they're gonna replace those 2, and that's supposed to occur at the end of June. I would say it's probably gonna happen end of July. But, you know, that's their commitment to us. They have a new CEO for Eversource. They have a new person that's specifically working only on the decorative lights. And that person is working on Morris, Winchester, and Barkhamsted. So they've taken care of Morris. Morris lights have never worked since they were installed. And so then ours are next, and they're working on Barkhamsted as well. I don't know how much that of an issue is. But, so, it's not only my whining, it's also a change of leadership in Eversource. So,
Yeah, but you've been the most persistent
yes.
voice,
Yes, for 4 years, yes.
other than maybe Joe Forster. But you got something done, and congratulations, good for all of us.
Well, when it happens, I'll believe it.
And now we all need to worry once it's fixed, what's our next topic?
Well, they're all gonna be LED too. They're all gonna be LED too. So that should give us, we hope, some time before we're gonna know exactly what the heads are. We're gonna know what the poles are for future replacements, so that, you know, those will be, the only trick is we have to figure out, they said there's a new reporting system, and it sounds wonderful, but I don't know, I haven't seen it, so I don't believe them until I've seen it. Because I told them 2 lights that are not decorative lights that are out on Main Street, and you've told me they were out for 4 years in front of H&R Block. Now, there's a painted number on that, I don't know, and then there's another one in front of Morsel Monk. That's a wooden thing, it has no number on it. So if we don't have them numbered, you can't report it. So I have to figure that out too.
Candace has been so effective in talking about it all the time. I was on the Milford Green, and I was driving around, and I started counting the lights that were out. There were 8, by the way.
That's probably why you're in a confusion bubble. Okay, boards and commissions, are you ready for that? Okay, we've got a reappointment first of all, and so I would move to reappoint Joe Nichols to the Civil Service Commission as a permanent member, his term to expire in May of 2027.
Now, Josh, is that your recommendation, or is that
Yes.
the Board of Selectmen's for the civil service?
It is, I think formally, I think I'll make the appointment according to the charter, but I would like your group blessing on it.
Okay,
And it's here for your review.
yeah. That's one of those that's a little different.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want our support in terms of motion?
I'll take it.
Yeah, okay, I move to reappoint.
Well, you would move to support Josh's recommendation, right? Because we're not appointing,
Okay,
right?
Move to resolve that the town manager's recommendation be supported by the Board of Selectmen.
okay.
I'll second that. And then Sheila has to figure it out.
Yes, I got it.
All in favor? Opposed?
I don't know, do we still need a Civil Service Commission?
Well-
That's not the question.
We-
I know,
we-
I
we-
know,
We
I
do
know.
know that it's Josh's start of his 3rd week, everyone. Start of his
Oh, yeah.
3rd week.
So I'm unanimous with you, so.
Okay, thank you.
That's gonna be one of the longest 6-year appointments. I don't know if we appoint anybody 6 years other than,
No, this position, no, there are some
planning and
boards.
zoning is 5.
You're
Yeah.
correct.
This is a long time, 6
Yep.
years.
Anyway, Steve, I think you have something else to do.
Yeah, we need to acknowledge the resignation of Christine Hunter from the Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Commission. Her term expired, and she wishes not to be reappointed. So Inland Wetlands and Watercourses has some vacancies now. We made an appointment a while ago with Jeff Lippincott, but we have a couple of vacancies now, and We've got to turn over the rocks and shake the bushes and see if we get some volunteers for IWWC. I know they've got a lot of important stuff coming up.
Is there anybody else?
No,
That's it?
that's it for now. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Okay, number 9, we do not need that. So number 10 is, under new business, we have 3 line item transfers. I'll turn it over to Josh. We'll do each one separately and make motions on them. So, go ahead, Josh.
Okay, these are all, it's important to note, intra-departmental transfers. I know that section 915 is listed on all of the different summary sheets. That's only for your knowledge if there were interdepartmental transfers, but all of these are within the same departments. The first is $12,000 that's been proposed to be moved from the salt line within the street department to bituminous. And the hope is that they will be able to use some of the extra money in the salt line to be able to address some potholes that exist around town and really help make sure that road concerns are being addressed.
We have a motion to approve. Thank you, Jack. Second, thank you, Melissa. Are there any questions? All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Next.
The next item is in the total of $30,000, $10,000 coming from administrative salaries, $20,000 coming from labor, skilled, and professional, and this is in the fire department's budget. And the proposed transfers to the maintenance of equipment line, and the hope is to be able to install some equipment on the chief vehicle and some extensive repairs on Tower 1.
So moved.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you for the second, Linda. All in favor? Unanimous, thank you.
The last item is a bit smaller. This is within the tax collector's department. It's $1,300 from vehicle allowance to office supplies. Vehicle allowance has been used very little this year, given the fact that there aren't many places to go. And office supplies are always a need for our various departments, and they see some logic in going ahead and purchasing some of those supplies before the end of the fiscal year.
Move to approve?
Thank you. Thank you, Candace. All in favor? Okay, thank you. I believe that takes care of the line item transfer. The next one is the EMP grant program, and we get this each year. So it's just a resolution agreement. Josh?
Yes, this is a grant that is very routinely given out by the state of Connecticut's Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security. This is an amount of money that's been handed out to the town before. The purpose of it is to help cover the costs of an emergency management director for the town. And the total of the amount is $10,739.00. And in accordance with our past practice and apparent state requirements, it requires your acceptance.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you, Linda. Any more questions? I know that we've all seen this for a while.
So this goes towards his salary, or is this
Stipend, yes.
hard?
Our emergency management director gets a stipend because he
Oh.
also works as a full-time fire marshal.
Got it. Thank you.
All in favor? Okay, great. Thank you. Next up is citizens' comments, 860-738-6958. If you'd like to call in, John, anything? No? 860-738-6958. Hi, this is the selectmen's meeting.
Good evening. This is Shaw Israel Isaacson, 35 Hinsdale Avenue, editor of the Winchester Phoenix. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good.
Good. So I just want to say that the deadline for the grant was April 30th. So the deadline's already been passed and everything. But we are a 501c3 tax-exempt nonprofit organization, the Winchester Phoenix, Now, it's formed to serve the public interest in the need for news and information in the northwest corner of Connecticut, to also prevent a news desert from happening, because we all know that all the other newspapers don't cover everything in Winstead or these other towns we cover. So I just want to say that, frankly, I'm greatly disappointed about the lack of support here for this paper. You know, all we asked was for a letter of support so we can try and achieve a grant so we can further operations and cover more news, not just in Winstead, but like everyone in like these 6 towns that we cover. So we just want to keep furthering covering all the news that we can, and especially in Winstead, which we feel is not really being covered properly by the other news sources we have in this area. So those are my comments.
Shaw, have the other towns given you letters of support?
Still looking for them. I was actually hoping Winstead would be a strong supporter, especially considering I'm a Winstead resident.
Well, your chairman of your board sent me the email.
Okay, well, I'll talk to him. But again, just disappointed right now. But yep, that's all I have to say.
Are you paid by the Winstead Phoenix?
Yes,
Right.
but we're a nonprofit organization,
Okay.
and we are based in town. Literally, I'm like right down the street from you right now. So there you go.
Okay, well, we'll take your comments into advisement.
I hope so. I appreciate it, Candy. Thank you.
Yep. Anyone else? 860-738-6958. 860-738-6958. Right, any selectmen's comments or reports?
Well, the Earth Day was a really great success. We had volunteers from Northwest Region 7 cleaning around their school. Gilbert School came down to Main Street, as well as we had a huge group from the Scouts. And we had parents bringing their children down, dropping them off. And we had Jessica from the EDC who brought her parents down. We had people that came and took bags and went back to their streets. Linda Grappo came down and cleaned around Main Street. We had 54 little bottles on that road right behind 10 Bridge Street. 54 nippers. I hope the legislation passes for the 10-cent deposit. That's terrible. But they did a phenomenal job. I mean, they even took out the bottom of a car off the side of the Mad River. I mean, they did a great job. And the huge thanks to every restaurant that makes pizzas, from Sophia's, Nolly's, McGrain's, Monaco's, Mario's, Kent Pizza, and ABC. Everyone donated pizzas. We had, I think, like 11. So it was really great. And Jen Perga from the Winchester Land Trust really helped coordinate as well. So it was a really great effort. And Monaco said more pizzas if you come back later in the year to do another cleanup, which was a good idea. You know, they did a great job. It was phenomenal. Thank you, everyone that came down and volunteered.
Is there anyone else with anything?
I'd like to say a couple of public safety things. This past weekend, there's been some, not in town, but they're working their way towards town with car break-ins. So just a reminder to everyone to lock your vehicles at night, lock your homes. If you saw in the news this morning from Walcott, the car was stolen at the gas station with 2 young children in the car. The mother got out at 11:30 at night. She left her car running. Never do that. Within minutes, somebody pulled up to the car and stole the car with the children inside. And also, there's been some phone scams going around town. So just make everyone aware that the town won't be contacting anyone for town business by phone generally. When in doubt, hang up and call the town who they say they're from, the department, as well as other phone scams going around. town, especially targeting elderly. So, check on your parents, your elderly neighbors, and make sure they're not getting themselves into trouble over the phone.
Maybe just dovetailing on that, Josh could just talk a little bit about, he was on a meeting for the emergency with the overdoses, the spike alerts that have been happening in Northwest Connecticut. There's a whole coalition that works with it, and Josh was on the same phone call where, it was spearheaded by McCall's out of Torrington. Just a quick recap on that, if you would.
Sure thing. It's no surprise, I think, throughout the pandemic, not just during the pandemic, but even before that, that we have seen an opioid addiction crisis, not just in Connecticut, but really across the United States. And it's hit particularly hard in some of the northern counties in Connecticut. And so this task force came together after we've seen an uptick in those cases over the last few weeks even, to try and figure out what it is that we can do to try and avoid some of these overdoses from occurring. And as some of you might have heard, there were even overdoses in our community just this past weekend and Friday. So this is a very serious problem. I was glad to see that there were some public figures there. Senator Blumenthal was on the call and was trying to be as supportive as he can in his role, just as an example. And there are a lot of minds in the community that are thinking about what to do, but I think there are very few resources, and that was definitely articulated on the call. And I think that there is a lack of action on this item from a lot of different perspectives. So I know that we as a town have somebody now as a social services director who it does interact with individuals within the community who have suffered from this, who do know other individuals and who do suffer from such addictions themselves. And I'm hoping that we can continue to play our part in making sure that people who need help get it. Because otherwise we see the results of what happens when those people don't get the help that they need, and we saw it this past week.
So they, on Fridays at the Soup Kitchen, Sarah Loretti Toomey is down there as part of Greenwood's counseling, and a mobile van out of McCall's is there too for people that may be ready to start talking to someone, either to get more information or if they're ready to start treatment. They certainly can help them down there. And of course, anyone that needs or wants more information or would like to get some help, like Josh said, Katie Val can help point you in the right direction and try to coordinate that for you.
Also, we have the new vaccination schedule. That's May 6th
Yes.
for those at Bank of America, for those that were vaccinated April 14 and 15. And across the street from that is going to be the
Faith Bible Church, the second round for that.
no, across the street is they're doing the COVID testing on Center Street, directly across at exactly the same time.
Community health.
Right.
Community health.
Community health and wellness,
Right.
sorry.
Right. On May 11th, too, because we don't have a meeting before that, but May 11th, we have 860 boxes of food coming to Winston. Thank you to Friendly Hands Food Bank. The town, on the town side, Jim at Public Works is gonna help us get the pallets off of that truck. And right now, I have about 15 people signed up, and Explorations is also supposed to send some kids down, so that should be a good morning for everyone.
Busy streets.
Huh?
Busy streets.
Busy streets, yes. Anyone else with anything?
Move we adjourn.
There's a second. Thank you. All in favor? Thank you. Unanimous. Our mics are still on.
Yes.
Everyone.
And there's an increase in tick population.
I know. I'm hoping the turkeys ate all mine.
Get those,
Mr. Sedlak?
something chicks.
See you